Welcome back, S-Fam. This is Brittany.
This is Dialissa.
And welcome to Sisters from Another Mr. Podcast. Today, we had to do it.
We had to.
Got to bring your attention
to colorism.
It's unfortunately a thing.
Unfortunately. And it has been a thing.
Yeah, and it's not stopping. It's a persistent thing.
Understandably so, though.
Yeah.
Understandably so.
Is it understandable, though?
No. Well, let me not say that.
I mean, I guess with America's history, it's understandable.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Yeah. It's just unfortunate, though. It's so stupid.
Because we're like being forced to, from the beginning of time, to be against one another. When we're really all one kind.
So let me tell you the definition of colorism. Prejudice or discrimination against individuals with a dark skin tone, typically among people of the same ethnic or racial group. Typically. That is not always the case. So let's make sure that's clear. It says typically.
Typically.
So basically, it's just discrimination against people for something they had never had control over to begin with, because you're born with your complexion, whatever that is, light or dark.
Exactly. And we have researched even further as we were, coming upon this episode, and it just has a very big impact, I think, on our community.
Yeah.
As far as like different things where it comes to occupation, as far as your wage, it plays a part even in people's jail sentencing.
Yeah.
It plays a part in dating. It plays a huge role in very aspects.
Yeah, because people are light skinned or lighter skinned tend to get jobs that, if all things being the same, another dark skinned person still will qualify for it. And they just get the job because they're light skinned.
Because, as they say, what is it? Light skin is the right skin, apparently.
That's what they say.
Even in our own culture, as far as when it comes to hip hop music.
Yep. Everything.
We think the lyrics are so catchy and they rhyme or whatever, but you're not just saying that. You truly believe that.
You do feel like that.
That's how you feel.
Yep.
And this has been brought up recently when it comes to like Chris Brown and him saying, what was the quote? He only likes black girls with good hair.
Good hair.
And it's just quite disgusting to me.
Yeah. And I don't know which rapper it was, but apparently there was a rapper, I can't remember right now, and he said that he wasn't going to have any darkies in his VIP section at the club. Only light-skinned women.
Oh, I know Chris Brown said that.
Chris Brown said that too. Wow.
Yeah, Chris Brown's out here. He's out here.
Okay, Chris Brown is not stopping.
Telling you all about his preference. Quote, unquote, preference.
That's interesting. Wow, I didn't know it was him too.
Yeah.
I mean,
multiple occasions.
Yeah. Even we were listening to another podcast, The Thick. Shout out to Bria.
Shout out.
And Mindy, excuse me. I'm about to say to Brindy, honestly, but whatever.
I was going to say
that's what they call themselves. But on The Thick, they were talking about colorism and its effect on their dating.
Yes, they did basically a social experiment.
Yeah, for like 2 weeks, and they talked to the same guys because Tabria is light skinned and she's mixed with white. I think she's black and white. Okay, yeah, and Mindy is Haitian. Yeah, and she's dark skinned. And they're both beautiful.
Beautiful.
Both of them are beautiful women. Beautiful. And they both were talking to the same guys, and they...
Oh, and then the next thing, the way that it even worked was because they were talking to these guys on these... You know how they do the dating life now? You do everything online. So, you swipe left, you swipe right. And whatever app this was.
Yeah, I forgot which one it was.
Yeah, so many different ones.
But they were talking to the same guys, and they just were comparing very, very vast treatment that they received. And it seemed more like Mindy was just, she was accepted. Like, okay, yeah, I'll talk to her. Because, okay, so you definitely thought she was attractive, too. And then it was like, but they would treat her disrespectful. Like, she was just a piece of ass.
Yeah, there was different standards.
Yeah, it was a whole nother standard. The way they treated her was...
Tabria had more of a wifey type of thing.
Yeah, and like they wanted to get to know Tabria.
Yeah.
With Mindy, it was like, so
hit it and quit
when
it
can we fuck kind of thing.
Which is disgusting.
Wow.
You know, that's so disgusting. And which is so crazy to hear that. I mean, that the roles have reversed, because I was doing my research and I was listening to another podcast. Oh man, I'm gonna have to see if I could shut that out on Instagram. But I was listening to it on my way here, and the girl was saying that back in the day, back in the slavery days, we had the house niggas and the field niggas, and that typically, the field niggas would be the ones that would get, treacherous labor, and
they tend to be darker,
right? And then the house niggas, they were the light skinned ones, but they were usually subjected to more rape and sexual abuse. I mean, I feel like they all were, but obviously,
if you have to just kind of tally up frequency, I guess. I mean, they got it more. Doesn't mean that they didn't get it at all out in the field, but yeah, no, and that's where it stems from. Right? Like colorism stems from racism and slavery, and just,
let's be real, they put us against our own people to think that being of a lighter skin is better. And this doesn't even come from just us as black people. Just in the European culture from the beginning of time, like your bloodline had to be solely purely white.
Yeah.
So that you could
you were considered better then.
Yeah.
You could
get certain privileges.
Yeah, even though you were still white.
Exactly. And I feel like because that was the beginning, the pedestal, then now it's been a thing in a lot of different cultures, even Asian cultures. Yeah.
But see, the thing is, like, even with them, it was like, okay, you got certain privileges, but what they did with black people and slaves and shit is that they used it to turn us against each other. It's beyond, like, general privileges. It's like, okay, well, you are less than, and you aren't even going to come in this house type of stuff. Like, they took it to another level with black people, and then they used it. They like, oh, okay, we can manipulate them to be against each other because we don't want them to like each other and rise up against us. So hey, let's find any way we can. They ain't reading, they can't get married, they can't do all this stuff, and we're gonna make them feel some type of conflict amongst each other. And we're so foolish, we keep it going. It's 2019. Why does it keep going?
I don't know. And I mean no harm when I say this, but it's not like people act like, oh, because you're dark skinned, like it automatically makes you ugly and different things like that. Me and Brittany have talked, and there are a lot. I'm not trying to put no shade on nobody, but it's some ugly ass light skinned people. Let's be real here. Just because you're light skinned, if you literally change that person's skin tone. And they wouldn't be ugly because they're dark skinned. They would just be ugly or funny looking. Let me not say ugly. Let me not be like features. That. Yeah, you have some very funny looking features. Yeah. But just because you're light skinned doesn't make... Listen, we went to school with this one girl. You know who I'm talking about. Miss Bobblehead herself. Oh, this girl. She was... I don't even think she was black, but regardless of the fact, right? She was of a lighter skin tone. And she definitely dabbled with us niggas. So whatever, they considered her light skinned and whatnot. But I don't know about you, but I didn't find her cute. Her head was big, her teeth was buck, her damn, and I mean no harm, because you can't really help how you look, No, but I just think like it was just annoying that they would just put this girl on such a pedestal because of her skin tone. Because I would be looking at her like, what do they see?
But you know what it is too, is the fact that the boys in our school put her on that pedestal, it make you look at her. You really looked at her. And then when you did that,
our niggas putting her up on a pedestal.
Right. So then when you looked at her, you're kind of like,
piecing her,
I'm not seeing it,
picking her apart.
Yeah, because then you start to pay attention to what they talking about her like she's the most beautiful thing in the world, and
not that we were jealous, because listen, at the end of the day, it's not like we were lacking for attention, nothing like that. No. But it's just like, just throughout life.
Yeah.
And another thing that I will mention is that me and Brittany come from, you know what it is. We're goody gals. You know, we're from the island. Our families are from the islands. And it's well known in the West Indies even for us to talk about being light skinned. We're bleaching. We're doing all these different cake soaps. People are buying carrot soaps. And you know, I mean, don't get me wrong. I love my carrot soap and I love all these soaps. But a lot of these women we've grown up watching these things in school. You got to make sure you're scrubbing your elbows and all of these different things. You don't want to have any blackness on you. You know, like
yeah. And it's like even, I don't know, you could see the differences in Caribbean families. Like some people are light skinned, some people are dark skinned, even though we all came from the same island in that particular family, let's say. And even then there's like different treatment of people, even in the same family. But it's just like, well, you just happen to be born darker, or you just happen to be born light. And that's a thing. Like I don't remember a time where I specifically had to endure that in my family, but I definitely remember hearing people in general just talk about like, oh, she light skinned, oh, he's dark skinned, oh no, never, no dark skins. And I remember hearing stuff like that, but I didn't really understand it at that time. I was a child. And I do remember that being a thing. Like people were talking about it. Adults were talking about it, let me say.
Oh, no, absolutely. And I like, Brittany knows, obviously, we've been friends for how long, so she knows, like, in my own family, listen, I love my parents to death, but there would be things like, listen, be careful who you bringing home, you know, because I don't want any late for school children and things like that, you know, like,
they're
talking
too
about...
black.
Yeah, too black. And, like, literally, I'm not going to call anybody out, but I've had family members even say, listen, make sure you bring home, like, a white man or an Indian man or something like that, you know, like...
Yeah.
And not for nothing, my grandfather was Indian and his ass was batshit crazy. And not saying how all Indians are going to be like that, not trying to say all of that, but this just goes to show, like, we only worrying about appearance. We're not worrying about people's character at this point. Like, my man is a nice chocolate, goddamn, I would never have chosen a different color for that man. Oh, when I look at him, his skin glows. No offense. Hell, I'm not even looking at Brittany's husband like that. But I love it. Yeah, we are dating literally black men.
Yeah, they
and it's beautiful.
Dark skin.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and I
couldn't see it anyway.
I never really cared about stuff like that. I never cared about stuff like that. I mean, listen, Tupac said, "Black of the berry, the sweet of the juice." So what's the problem, y'all? Like, but I wonder. I find it weird for people to have those kind of preferences, because then I think, well, wasn't your mother a black woman?
Exactly. And do you hate yourself?
Yeah, like
your mama?
You know, because even on The Thick, they were talking about it in the same thing. Like, okay, these are the women you're dating, so shouldn't you be treating them like you would treat your own family who look just like her? Exactly. Like dark skin like Mindy? Like, what are we doing? That's so wild to me. It seems like you just
self-hatred.
Yeah, it just seems like self-hate. But let me say, this is for the black men. Obviously, I'm not talking about white people or any other race. But black men who specifically, like, hate or I could never date a black woman. Like, but isn't that your mom?
And you know what's so funny is you just don't see that anywhere. Like, you don't see... Obviously, white people aren't doing that. Like, you know, hell, they'll date us. But they'll, you know, like, they're not picky over, you know...
Yeah.
Or maybe we just don't know.
But you know what, though? Because I do feel like there's... I don't know who's in control of those types of things, but even just, like, media, the attention that they give certain celebrities, light-skinned black women versus dark-skinned black women is different. And it tends to be, like, Hollywood is run by white people, typically Jewish people, but, you know... And so it's kind of like, do y'all care? Do you not care, but you just don't want it to be too far removed from your own complexion? Like, I don't know. But it seems like maybe everybody cares. Because even like you was telling me how Asian cultures care.
Yeah, because I was looking at the whole, coming back to the whole bleaching cream type of thing. The places where it's predominantly used is Africa, the West Indies, and Asia. And over there, I was like, wow,
like Southeast Asia, they're a little bit darker. And I have heard that before. That,
but damn, that's not all right?
No, of course not. I'm not saying it's not right, but I'm saying that, so I could see that happening over there. Like they tend to be a little bit darker. So I could see
what is darker?
Relative to,
I mean, listen, whatever.
But relative, I guess everything is all relative. Because it's like, yo.
And they said in Africa that it's predominantly used in Nigeria.
That's so sad.
It is. We need to come up with some type of ban because it's just ridiculous. Like I've watched videos where these Jamaican, women and even men. Listen, we have one of the hottest reggae artists, Vybz Kartel, and he was one color, and now he's a whole nother color. You look sick. Like, why do you want to walk around looking like The Walking Dead? Like, do you feel like just because you bleach your skin, like you're any better of an artist?
Right.
Like,
and it's crazy to me because he was getting so much notoriety and so much praise. Dark
still
skin.
Makes music now, like in jail. And
but I'm saying when he was dark skinned, he was getting that. So why bother? Why bother? Why did that even cross your mind? If I'm doing well, dark skin, then why change up the formula? Like, leave it alone. That's so weird.
I just don't understand.
And then also, you were in the public eye. Did you not think anyone would notice or say anything?
Or do you not care? I don't think they care.
I guess.
I
guess so.
I don't want my friggin' skin bubbling off and just... No, thank you.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I really like Beyonce's latest song, Brown Skin Girl. I really love that song. Because she shouts out everybody that you know is beautiful dark-skinned women, but it's nice to hear like singing.
Give them a shout out.
Yeah, giving them the praise that they do. And I was reading this article, and it was talking about Beyonce and Kelly Rowland, and Kelly Rowland was saying that Tina Knowles was the reason, gave her like positive feedback and kind of built up her self-esteem as a dark-skinned girl, and would tell her like when she was living with them as a little girl, she would be like, oh, you're beautiful and you have beautiful skin, and she said that really helped her feel better. Like she's like, your skin is like chocolate and like stuff like that, and it really built her up, which is like crazy because this light-skinned woman is doing this. Maybe she's still black, so I feel like that's the key. We're still all black.
Absolutely.
Like just support each other. And now look at Kelly Rowland. She radiates beauty from the inside out, and it's probably from stuff. I'm not saying it's just that. Obviously, I'm sure she did her own work on her own self, but that definitely helped. That is so beautiful. So then when I hear like Beyonce making this song, I'm like, I could see why you was raised like that.
Right.
You was raised to appreciate every complexion.
Yeah. And that just makes me feel like it brings me back to thinking about my niece, and just wondering, like, coming from such a background, especially in the West Indian culture, where we're talking out loud about certain things and making it seem like hair and skin tone and certain things are so important. It's not only important for me to know that she knows how important it is to know that she's beautiful, because I think of it as like, it is important that we raise our kids like this, or kids that are around us, because me and Brittany, we don't have any children. Right. But I instantly start to think, like, one day I'm going to potentially have a daughter or a son.
Right.
Or a son. And I just feel like it's important for them to know, like, if you know that they have certain family members or whatever that are out there, and maybe we're very vocal in the West Indies. We say whatever's on our mind, and sometimes you don't mean any harm by it. But it really, if it affects me the way it does,
right?
And maybe I'm sensitive. I don't know, but I just don't want people to talk to these children like that. Right. Like to even, you don't even have to be talking to them. You could be talking, your complexion, or oh D, your hair, or something. It really does something to me because I feel like it doesn't make me feel good when you have a child sitting right there
who's not
that, and it's like, what is this you're putting in their head? You know,
right.
No, they are beautiful, and every chance I get. If she you could tell that sometimes she has self-doubt about certain things, and I'll be like, girl, please, you're beautiful, you have this or whatever, what are you worried? What you were talking about?
I honestly, I think I was telling you this. Like, I have been out in like stores or grocery store, or Target, Walmart, whatever, and I will see a little black girl, and I seen the girl. She had her hair out. It was natural. And I told her, your hair is so beautiful. And she looked like it lit up her world. Thank you. She was so excited. Mommy. She and her mom turned around to me later and was like, thank you. She just like mouthed thank you to me.
Right.
Because you need that. Like, and that was just for her hair, but I would say that, because I could tell that the little girl, they was in the natural hairs product section with me. That's where I was at, and it's like, I know she is not feeling her hair being out right now. She had that look on her face, kind of like, oh gosh, somebody else just came in this aisle.
Right.
And my hair is out. And we're looking at, these products like, oh gosh, let's get out of here.
Right.
And her hair was cute though. Like, she had really, really beautiful hair. Right. I was like, my gosh. But, sometimes you need to hear it. And sometimes it's hard enough, people on the outside beating you up, but like on the inside, in your family, you gotta hear it there. And
sometimes it's so important. Even anything. I feel like the world we grow up in now, you might be raising your child in an area like, I take care of, I have children I take care of. And I have one particular child that I just feel like he's in a world that's a little bit different. Like, he's not with people who look like him on a daily basis, right?
Right.
And I just think that, especially maybe not for him, maybe he feels the same way too. But I feel like, especially if it was a girl and you're in a situation where you're around all these little blonde hair, blue eyed,
right.
or girls, they don't have to be blonde, but anything, and their hair straight,
Or and they're blonde. And they're white.
They're white. So it's just different.
They don't look anything like you. They got blue eyes and white skin.
Right. So it just makes me feel like you're going to, even if no one else is saying anything to you, you might build up this doubt on yourself to feel like, oh, I'm just different. My hair doesn't do that.
Right.
And I just feel like in a situation where we have so many systematic avenues in which we are oppressed on a daily, it is very important that we're just, taking that time to uplift each other, perfect strangers. But really, we are one community.
Right.
And we need to make it our daily job to uplift each other. Fix your sister's crown. Fix your friend, we gotta really start to do better as a community where we're not oppressing each other based on skin tone. I just think that's ridiculous.
It's so stupid. And you know what else is, like, when you were talking about some of your kids, sometimes I think what happens is the teachers are white.
Oh, yeah.
And then there's like this idea of like, this is the person who's guiding me. They're the authority that I'm with 8 hours out of the day, if not more, if you do some after school program. And so then you start to see them and you hold them on a pedestal as a child anyway, and you kind of revere that person, and the way they look is going to be a part of it. So then it kind of, nobody has to say anything to you, but it just kind of happens that if that's what you're always seeing, what you're always around, you start to internalize that. And now it's kind of like, well, that's better, right? Because that teacher is really nice. She's always helping me. She's always taking care of me.
Teaching
I'm with this person daily, every day, all day long.
More than your own parents, maybe.
Exactly. So you really start to build that up. And I think it's even more like, as Black people, when you have your kid in that kind of situation, you might have to do even more work than the rest of it. Like, we still got to do work.
We do.
But you got to do even more to remind that child, like, hey, you're Black and that's beautiful.
Yes.
Absolutely no mistake in that. And light skin, dark skin, it doesn't matter. Black is beautiful.
Do you think it's also our job to make sure that our children are exposed to maybe an environment where the teachers do look like them, or I just feel like it is our job. We can't just send our children anywhere. And I'm not saying, listen, there's nothing wrong with having white teachers, Hispanic teachers. Listen, we have a beautiful friend right now who just graduated school, and hell, I wish my should be teaching my children. Okay, absolutely.
She's Mexican,
absolutely, and that's beautiful. Great. That's
beautiful, but it's just like maybe it's more of the mixture.
Yeah, we need more of a mixture. We need more diversity.
Yeah, we need more diversity because this is what the kids are seeing.
Yes,
and then that's only one thing that they're looking at. That don't even go into, they hear it in the rap songs like Chris Brown talking about all this foolishness. Okay. Then they're gonna see it in the movies. All of these white leads. Then they think, okay, so white people are teachers.
They're cops.
They're actors and actresses. They are
superior.
Without even saying it, that's exactly what they're feeling. And then it's kind of like, what are you supposed to say to that? Like, and you may not even know that's how your child feels, or even has an inkling or leaning towards like a complexion type of preference. And then it's kind of like, it may be too late. Like, you gotta always be keeping your children around different types of people. And make sure that they appreciate all of those different types of people. But that's a lot easier said than done, because I just think there's more white teachers.
It's so hard. That goes into just even parenting in itself. Because for me, I personally just feel like it just doesn't stop home. Like, on a daily. I feel like, not everyone has the opportunity where they can expose their children to different parts of the world, physically going to these different parts of the world and traveling. Even though I'm not gonna lie, I would love that. Because I remember, not for anything, granted, yes, we're from the West Indies, but even going back to Jamaica and seeing the schooling and how the schools work there, because I had an aunt that was a teacher and I would go to school with her. Like, I feel like, that made a difference. Like, and even if you can't travel, but like, definitely expose your children. We have this wonderful thing called the internet, where you can just get online and just show your children. Like, it's hard work out here to be a parent and to, bring this child up into this world. But it is our job, and we have to start with these young ones, because we have they turn into these grown adults that are saying the most ignorant shit on, out in the public.
So I saw I don't remember, maybe it was like 60 Minutes or something, and they did a test, like another experiment, like Brittany did, and they were showing children a picture, and in the picture you can't tell if the person is pushing or trying to reach out and help the person who is falling. And it's two boys. They showed them to the young children, and in the one with the boy who was white on top, or who was standing, all of the children said that they thought he was helping up the black kid, and then the one where the black kid was standing up, and you couldn't tell what was going on. They said that it looked like the black kid pushed him down. And it was very interesting, because it was like black kids, light skin and dark skin, white kids, Hispanic kids. And I want to say a good 95% of them said, it wasn't like all of them said that, but pretty much all of them said that the dark-skinned kid was pushing down the other kid, and the light-skinned kid was helping him up. But it's like so crazy to think that these kids internalize shit we would never think that they're even noticing. I said, whoa, that's crazy.
No, but we did an experiment with one of the kids I work with as well. And we showed him pictures of light-skinned women and dark skin. No, first we started off with, what was it, dolls? And gave him
They were all the same doll, too.
Yeah, they were all the same doll.
Cabbage Patch.
Cabbage Patch. And the Cabbage Patch come in various colors, because I remember at one point there was one where when my brother was young, you can get one that kind of looked like you. or whatever.
really?
Yeah, you could pick one.
Yeah.
So it was like part of the family. It was like his little brother for kids who were like only children or whatever. So they come in these various colors, which I think is great.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's great for a company, especially back then. You know, and so we showed the little boy the Cabbage Patch dolls. We showed there was one that was dark skin. There was one that was like brown skin. And then there was one that was white. And we also showed him other dolls as well. But every time he would pick like
the white one
right away.
Yeah.
And then sometimes he would, if you gave him more option, he would pick the light skin one.
Black doll, yeah.
Yes.
But never the dark skin.
Never the dark one. And we would ask him, we would tell him, well, what's the difference? And I remember with one of the Cabbage Patch dolls, he said, because the white one had more hair. And it didn't. It just was, I don't know what it was.
The hair was just a different color. That's all. The hair was just a different color. That threw him off, I guess. I don't know.
I guess. But then we also showed him 2 actresses. We showed him Lupita. And we showed him Halle Berry. And
2 beautiful women.
2 beautiful women. And he picked Halle Berry, of course. We asked him why, and he said the hair, I think, for one. So we showed him a picture, one with Lupita and one with Halle with shorter hair. And he still picked Halle. Then we showed him one crackhead Halle.
From the movie.
From
Isaiah?
the movie.
Something with Isaiah.
Well, she played crackhead in a couple of movies.
Okay.
And he still picked crackhead Halle.
Over, like, red carpet Lupita.
Yes! What the hell? I was in an uproar. I had to go home after that.
Yeah, you did leave after that. I mean...
Oh, my God.
It was very interesting. But... what did he say? What was the difference there? Why didn't he... What was his reason for that?
Oh, I will say he did at one point say something about... I don't remember if it was that he said something about his mom.
I think that was with red carpet Halle. I'm pretty sure that was not with the crackhead.
We even this has nothing to do with colorism, of course, but we even asked him what his preference was with even me and Brittany's hair. I don't know. It really starts young, man. That is what I've just gained from that. What I've learned from that is it really starts young, and you really have to. You would think there's certain things that you don't have to worry about with children who are so young, and even with boys,
Right, that's true.
But it is very insightful for me and gives me something to really think about when it comes to me having my kids and making sure that I set a certain tone. Because, I mean, yes, we all have a preference, I guess, I'm not saying that everyone, people can't have their preference of certain things.
Right.
But we got to draw a line somewhere,
Yeah. And I think the line is like, okay, if you're a kid, you pick different dolls over the one your parents might want you to, fine. But then it's kind of like, you can't be disrespectful. Right. Like how these men are growing up on dating apps now. They're on dating apps being disrespectful to dark-skinned women.
No, absolutely. They're going to the point where on this podcast, the girl was saying that she was trying to like a profile of one guy that the light-skinned friend was able to like. And based on his preference, she couldn't like the picture. So they changed everything except for the fact that she was not half white to the same everything, every preference about or every setting about herself was set to the same settings as her light-skinned friend, except for that she was not part white. And
she changed it.
As soon as she changed it, she was able to like and get on his profile. He set his shit up so that
you can't not be black.
He don't want no blackies, basically.
No shade of black. Either.
No shade of black. And this nigga is black. He was black. She said bone to the bone black.
Yep. And they say that he was like at a HBCU.
Yeah,
like what? A historically black college, and you still don't like your own people? That's some serious self-hatred.
I mean no harm, but you a real Uncle Tom too. Like, how you gonna be at a freaking HBCU with your disrespectful Negro ass? And then gonna be talking about you ain't trying to have no just black nothing on your stuff?
Okay.
Ooh, that's some nasty
white
stuff.
only.
And I mean, don't get me wrong. And listen, I'm not on here to shout people out, but you already know how I feel about that. My own brother is just like, oh, it's so frustrating. You know, I'm not saying again that you can't have your preference, but how can you be like, how can you hate? Like you said, hate yourself. Basically, let's be real here.
And that's. I mean, do you think your brother hates, or does he? Do you think he has a preference for light and dark skin?
Hell yeah.
Oh, he does.
I mean, let's be real here. Like I said, I have had family members, very close family members, who have said it in our brain. I mean, it didn't stick with me. I'm not.
Right.
You know, but I will say that my brother, I feel like, is very impressionable when it comes to things like that. Growing up in a certain way, you know, not having his own insight maybe is what I gather, you know?
That's true.
And he just grew up, and that became his preference, I guess. It just, listen, if that's what you like, it's what you like, right? Mm-hmm. I just feel like he's just giving me very funny responses when it comes to why he does not date black women.
Huh.
You know, like, oh, he tries to make it sound like maybe he's not good enough. But I just don't know about that. How could you not be good enough for a black woman, but you could be good enough for other races? And you come from a black woman.
Right. Damn.
Again, like I said, I will try to do a better job. Not that I'm saying that. I'm just saying. I can't have another repeat.
Lord.
I get so frustrated with him. I just want to slap him.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I mean, listen, if he was out here dabbling in every freaking pool, great.
Right.
I would love it. But when you have a direct, distinct preference, it's really hard.
Especially when it's not your own people.
Yeah. Listen, I'm all for mixed dating, mixed race.
Yeah, it's not that. It's just the idea of you not wanting to date your own kind. Someone who looks like the woman who raised you, like the sister who you grew up with.
Did you not appreciate where you come from, nigga?
Right. There's nothing wrong with dating other races. Nothing wrong with
Absolutely
that.
Not.
But it's just, I find it very weird and a little disturbing when you like, I only want to date my own kind, no matter what your kind is. If you're white, if you're Hispanic, if you're Asian, it's just like very odd to me. Because it seems like something's wrong, like you don't like or love yourself at that point.
And then it's like when he does, I guess, start to maybe talk to a black girl of some sort, he always wants to make it like it's some big soiree. Like, oh, did you know I'm talking to this black girl?
Oh my gosh. He made that PSA to me in like public service announcement. Brittany, I'm dating a black girl.
I'm like, yo, who gives a shit? Great for you. Like, what? That's like when niggas be like, you know you pretty for a black girl? Like, that's what the same kind of feeling I get. What the hell is wrong with you?
Mm-hmm. You know what's so crazy? I don't know if you remember. I'm sure you do. But I remember in school, boys would say that to you. And you, because they say, you're black? You're pretty for a black girl.
No, and they would try to before they would say that, they would try to justify that I wasn't just black though. No, but you mixed though. You have something. No, nigga, I'm black. I'm mixed with black. How about that? Why can't that just be enough? That shit is annoying. Yeah. And I feel like it doesn't, not everybody's like that. Girls, they would love that.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll come up with all kinds of things and no.
Team light skin, team dark skin, and that was a thing. Oh, team black people.
Team black people, team human race. How about that?
Yeah, like, how about that? Like, just We all a bunch of teenagers in high school and don't know what the hell we're doing.
Okay?
Bunch of dummies.
Bunch of ignorant ass fools, okay? Oh, so crazy.
That's crazy.
You're pretty for a black girl.
Like, what? No, I'm just pretty.
I'm just pretty in general, nigga.
Yeah.
Get with it. What's wrong with you? But moving on to, have you ever heard of the paper bag test?
I have heard of this test. Not used in the capacity that you were telling me about, but I have heard of it. So it's unfortunate. But tell us, fam, all about this.
Okay, so I'll have to shout the podcast out once again later. But I was listening to a podcast, and they were talking about how certain private colleges like HBCUs, I won't say any names because I don't even know which ones off the top of my head right now, but particular HBCUs and other private colleges, how they would do what's called a paper bag test. And with this test, you would have to send a picture with your, application of your picture of yourself with your application. And basically, if you were the color of a paper bag or lighter, or maybe lighter than a paper bag, then they would
disqualify you?
Or qualify you? Qualify you, basically.
So they wanted like
that would merit you admission basically into their school. But if you were darker, they didn't feel bad about not accepting you because they felt like we're a private school, and some public schools would have to take you anyway because they take everybody.
Huh.
That's crazy as hell to me.
Wow. I have heard of this test before used in other racist incidents, but I never heard about like colleges, universities, whatever, doing that. That's insane.
That's sick to me.
That is insane. Like, really, really sick and disgusting.
No, absolutely, because what does the fucking color of my skin have to do with my damn intelligence?
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand it.
You could have a light-skinned dummy. For all you know.
There are plenty of them.
Like, you don't even know, though. You didn't even give these people a chance. Damn.
And you're a black school.
That's the craziest part.
You're terrible. Like, how?
And
how could you do that? These people cannot help. And why should it be they cannot help? Like, as if there's some sorry sap victim.
Right. Like,
it's unfortunate. Being black and dark. Oh, my God. Like, what's the freaking big deal?
Yeah. It's a great thing. It's beautiful.
Man, there are some of the finest freaking black men out here. Jesus. Oh, my God. I can't think of that man's name now, but that man on Queen Sugar? Jesus, help us all.
Kofi something.
Yes.
And he was in
what how you pronounce this?
Girl Trip.
He's
Kofi Cerebo.
OMG. Ghanaian.
No, he's from Ghana. Yeah.
Yummy. Absolutely delicious.
Morris Chestnut. He was down here in Atlanta at the Target. Women were melting. They were melting in the AC of Target.
Idris Elba.
Yep.
Like, what are you talking about? Yeah. If we had to wipe the earth of all the dark-skinned men, take me with them, motherfuckers. Take me with them. Some fine beings. They trying to play.
That's a bit crazy. But you know what that makes me think about? An article I read with Loretta Devine was talking about how when she was in one of the original Dreamgirls, how they would talk so badly about them because whoever was the director or the producer at that time, he specified that he only wanted dark-skinned black women in the Dreamgirls. And he was like, that he made it an effort. So at that time, they were all the Dreamgirls were dark skinned, and like Jennifer Holliday was in that one with her, and I forgot the other lady's name who was in there with her with Loretta. But Loretta was in the interview recently, and she was saying like, yeah, they used to call us the Dreamgirls from Planet of the Apes. And
what?
Yes, she said they would make fun of them because they were dark skinned. So it's so crazy, like now how these men that you just listed, they're all revered and women love them now. But not too long ago, they was calling these women dream girls from Planet of the Apes. Because they were dark skinned. That's the only thing. Loretta Devine is beautiful. Jennifer Holliday.
And these were white people?
Black people. She said, yeah, this is how y'all used to do us. And she was talking to a black radio host.
Oh, but you even know all of that goes to say, like, let's be real here. Let's be honest. Women, especially dark women, of course they're gonna get more than They'll love on the chocolate black man. Hell, the white women,
that's fetishized.
Will go hire the goddamn black man, have husbands, and they doing all kind of weird shit with the black man and darky, right? You know, but yet we're at the bottom of the damn totem pole as it is. So what do you mean? Of course we're fucking apes and shit.
Yeah, man.
When we're dark skinned.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't stand this place.
They fetishize
The Lord is coming to wipe y'all asses out anyway. So who gives a shit about color and all this bullshit we're talking about? Fucking heathens.
Yeah, so crazy.
These people.
Heathens.
Planet of the fucking Apes.
Could you imagine? And that movie set records and shattered all types of glass ceilings. But it's just like, damn, that they have to go through that for the next generation to come through. And then she was like,
I wonder what they said about that movie with the girls who were engineers. They say that shit about them too?
I think at that time, Hidden Figures.
Oh, I love that movie.
But at that time, I think they just was mad at all because they were just black. They didn't give a fuck if you was light or dark. You just is black. So that was at that time. It was just
boy, that's for another.
Y'all all lumped together at that point. But and she talked about how after in the more recent version of Dreamgirls, they cast Beyonce, and she was saying how whoever the guy was who was in charge of picking out all the dark skinned women, he messaged her and said, "See, I told you this is why it was so important because we love Beyonce, but she is light skinned." And there was a little bit of, I guess, discussion about the idea that she was light skinned and she was previously dark skinned women were playing in the movie. And it was a whole big to do. And Beyonce's father even brought it up recently, talking about how he thinks that Beyonce's complexion is a part of the reason she is more notoriety or more famous.
Her, basically.
Yeah, and then Kelly Rowland, because
who's
she's
just as talented.
Right. And he said there's no reason why except for that. And even he brought that up. It's kind of wild because it's like, damn.
That's his child.
Yeah.
And he can still say that.
And he can even admit that he thinks that, obviously, Beyonce worked hard. So,
and of course, she's very talented.
Yeah,
nobody's denying that.
Yeah, but he just like maybe a couple of more doors got open for her.
No, absolutely.
You know.
And not for nothing. If we're not even gonna, we don't even have to talk about the same women in the same group. We could talk about Jennifer Hudson as well. I feel like Jennifer Hudson is a phenomenal singer, period.
Yeah,
movie or not.
Yeah.
I just think she's a very phenomenal singer. I think there are a lot of dark skin or any skin color, but just it is what it is. This is the world we live in,
No, that's true. I mean, people are
lighter skin, it gets you more opportunities. Let's be real here.
It does. Even in all industries, I think.
All industries. There was a statistic that stated, even for light skin versus dark skin Latinos, apparently light skin Latinos on average make $5,000 more than darker ones.
Wow, that's sad.
And that 15%, there's a 15% greater likelihood of light skinned women to be married than a dark skinned woman.
I met a girl when I was studying abroad in Paris. Mm-hmm. She was Dominican, light-skinned Dominican. And she had dark-skinned family members because they all mixed up. And she was saying how her own grandmother used to favor her and kind of be mean or more, dismissive of her own cousins. They were all this woman's grandchildren. Oh. But they all... And they're all Dominican, but it's just different shades, and even there. So I can only imagine.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
That is so sick.
And that last statistic, as far as women, that was for black women.
Mm-hmm.
And then they also talk about how light-skinned women who do the same crime as a dark-skinned woman, same exact, they are more likely to get lighter sentences.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a little bit of like white people feel more comfortable with you.
What the fuck do you have to be comfortable about? What is the comfortability for?
You're too black. Your blackness is too evident. It's too in my face. Okay,
whatever. Freaking ridiculous.
And that shit is pretty like wild. That is still going on too.
I mean, I'm not for nothing. I'm not trying to say. Maybe I've just gotten to an age where I'm a little bit more mature. But I just instantly think of these things now as a real problem because, like, one day me and you could either one of us or both of us can grow up and raise beautiful, dark-skinned daughters.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying anything against my sons, but they be alright, right? The women gonna want them and all that and whatever. But as a woman, what am I going to do with my child? What am I going to tell her?
You just gotta tell her every day that she's beautiful. Play Beyonce brown skinned girls for her.
Jesus, I hope that's enough, Lord.
And I think it's like how you feel about your niece now. You know, you already know that it's a thing that you don't like and it needs to be rectified. So you will automatically be on top of it. Like, you just will, without even thinking, do it. And then I feel like having these experiences with these different kids, seeing these different, like, social experiments that people do.
She'll have her father. Praise God. Because it's only another factor. You know, imagine these, not to be funny, not to be in any kind of way, but this is what we're talking about. Can you imagine, like, I wonder if that has an effect too, that you don't have a constant man in your life, maybe? Mm-hmm. For some of these women, not all of them, of course, but some of these women, like, does that even make a difference? Because it's already hard enough trying to get this love from a man if you don't have a father figure. For some women, most women, whatever the statistic is, right? And how important it is for someone to tell you you're beautiful. How important, like, I'm pretty sure, I wonder how, on the thick, like, does she have her father? And was he one to tell her, you know, how beautiful she was? Mm-hmm. You know?
I mean, they both seem very confident, so, and pretty secure, you know, in their own self.
But, like, what if they didn't?
I don't know, but.
Jesus.
I mean, but if they didn't, then either way they won because they're very confident in spite of that. So I mean, I don't know their history, their personal histories, but either way, they've found a way to love themselves because Mindy doesn't self-hate.
No, absolutely not. But she even said, even with the experiment, imagine just something that you're doing as an experiment could make you feel away. Like, she was like, yo, I had to stop this because I was starting to feel a little down, you know?
Yeah, but it also made Tabria feel bad, too, because she was like, I don't like this, and it's making me uncomfortable. And so I feel like if something like that happens, everybody, if you are more conscious, let me say, and aware of the negativity of it, then you're gonna be, you know, upset and disturbed by it. Like, that's not okay.
That's not.
So I felt bad that she felt bad, but it was good. It was like assuring that she didn't like it. Like, even though she was being treated better, it was good that she didn't like that. And obviously, I understood Mindy being angry. Like, nah. They just straight disrespecting you all the time. I would have deleted that app.
No, seriously. Dating is hard enough in this day and age. Okay, and then have to deal with all that extra bullshit. Right. God damn, you can't even meet. Girl, praise God. I'm not saying that they won't come. I might have to get back on my good foot and do it too. I hope I don't, though. Because that is a whole nother beast in itself. We gonna have to do a podcast on that. See if we can get somebody up in here to tell us how this new dating shit works.
Yeah, because that's a whole nother discussion.
Like, it's hard out here. You got to have a portfolio now, basically, and come with pictures and pass a brown paper bag test and shit. Like, this is crazy.
And that ain't even reach nothing about your personality. Ain't that some shit?
Hard enough being a woman out here. Lil Duval out here talking foolish about how bitches can't wear their hair in a poof and shit. Sick of him. Sick of all these. I might have even talked about that already on the other podcast. I'm over these people.
Yeah, they really are just...
Can't just be your damn self anymore. You got to bleach. You got to straighten your damn hair, wear weave. You got to smile, take shit.
Yeah, it's part of being a black woman, I guess.
Take lower pay.
Yeah. That shit is so fucked up.
Ain't it bad enough we got periods every fucking month?
Nah, it ain't enough.
Ain't it bad enough you gotta be the one bearing children?
Not enough. You black, so you gotta add on to your plate.
Jesus Christ. Okay, and then they wonder why we angry.
Yo, for real. Oh, that's a whole other thing. Because it's like, if you say something that a light-skinned black woman would say, then it's kind of like, well... even things like that, we take it differently based off of your complexion. I was reading about that today in some article I got about colorism too. And I was like, what the hell? You cannot do nothing. Oh my goodness. It's just non-stop. I mean, it don't matter how beautiful you are. I read an article about Lupita and Vanity Fair is trying to lighten her skin tone.
Like, what are you doing?
You chose me to be on this magazine. What the fuck? Seriously?
I'm making her look red looking.
For real. You didn't even do it right.
Stupid fool.
You got me looking horrible, and she is already beautiful.
Her natural glow would have done just fine.
Okay.
Try to make her look like the living damn dead. I don't understand.
Skin just like Pearl. Lupita is gorgeous. And they just botched the whole thing. And then, like, did you think nobody was going to notice?
And apologize.
No.
What the hell you apologize for?
Throw that in the trash.
You ain't doing nothing. You won't have to apologize, right?
Oh, my goodness.
Stupid fool.
I said, what the hell? I tried to explain it, and no, there's no explanation for that. Somebody could take a picture of Lupita on the iPhone, and her complexion don't change. So what's your excuse with your professional cameras and shit?
That's what you intended to do.
You definitely intended to do that. I mean, everybody, it don't matter how beautiful, boy. My cousin, she's darker than me. And she was telling me how when she was in Arizona for a summer, how she had to deal with that. And they were making fun of her. Like the other kids were making fun of her, call her blackie. White people over there just... I don't know. Let me not say white people over there. But she encountered some white people while she was there who called her the N-word.
Oh, wow.
And...
How old is she?
At that time, she was like a teenager. She was like 13, 14. And it's like, damn, she was very impressionable.
Girl,
Yeah.
I would... Oh, Jesus. Please.
I said, wow. And then it made me realize, like, I guess she is darker than me. It's so crazy because I never noticed it. I never noticed it. She
but
said,
the devil is busy.
And she asked me, has that ever happened? I was like, that's never happened to me. I never encountered that. Maybe, again, it was the environment. Like, she was in a different place. A whole other state. So I don't know how things go in Arizona. I've never been. But it's just like, maybe that was it. But it's no coincidence to me that they were specifically making fun of her complexion. It wasn't just the fact that she was black. You know? That, to me, is just... a colorism thing.
Because a lot of people like darker complexions than us might even feel like, how can we have a stance? Because they might think, but I don't feel like you have to be dark skinned to feel.
Of course not.
Appalled. Like it's appalling. Like I said, it could be your family member, like you said.
Yep.
It could be your child. Anybody. Your friend.
It's wrong is wrong.
It is.
So that's that. I mean, no way. Maybe I'm not the darkest person, but I'm black and my skin is brown. And
we're not gonna accept no type. We're not gonna tolerate no disrespect.
No, there's white people who protest that type of stuff. So and they have no skin in the game. But hey, it's wrong is wrong. So can't nobody say that to me. Don't even say it, because that don't matter. Wrong is wrong. And I mean, did you see the interview the homegirl from Grey's Anatomy did? And she's a white woman. And she was talking about, she told the people who was doing the interview, it was her, Gabrielle Union, and somebody else. I forget now. But she said, yeah, they were talking about diversity and inclusion in Hollywood. And she said, yeah, to be honest, I don't feel like y'all are that diverse. To the people who were interviewing her in the middle of the interview, she said, I don't feel like it was very diverse. When I walked in here, I didn't feel like I see what I see when I go outside. I feel like y'all could work on y'all diversity. I said, whoa. She said, and as a white woman, it was her job to call people out on their shit. And so that's what she was doing. And Gabrielle Union was just sitting there. Yes. Gabrielle Union was just looking at her like, girl, tell him. I said,
got to do better.
In the middle, Ellen Pompeo. That's her name.
Go ahead, Ellen Pompeo.
Okay. I said, wow, good for her. She was like not having it. So I don't think it matters what your skin, race, whatever. If there's an issue and it's wrong,
you gotta stand for something.
You will
fall for anything.
Everything. Shout out to my mother.
Okay.
She would tell me that all the time. But that is a fact.
Snapple fact.
Man.
Oh, Lord. But I would definitely like to hear, once again, you hard-headed people, if we could get some people to just, comment on some of our posts and let us know, have you dealt with this type of discrimination, basically?
Colorism.
Have you dealt with this kind of thing, this colorism before in your life? What does it look like? How did it make you feel, know?
And if it wasn't you, like it wasn't necessarily me, but it was my cousin. Maybe you were an outsider looking in and just
you uncomfortable.
Disgusted. Or like Tabria, it's just a very uncomfortable, disgusting
What
feeling.
is your stance? Do you agree? Do you not agree?
Because you could agree, but I would love for you to explain that to me. Please tell me how, why.
No, absolutely. So could definitely dive deep. I feel like because we need to get we gotta break this cycle somehow, some way. I don't know if it'll be possible for everyone, but I have to at least see that my future children can grow up and hopefully not have to deal with it as much as we have having to deal with it. It's ridiculous. It's unnecessary,
Right. I mean, hopefully we're doing this episode and our listeners draw their attention to an issue. Maybe they never heard of it. Maybe they didn't think about it.
They thought about it at all, yeah.
And you're just slightly more aware. I mean, yeah. And again, we're not trying to say it's like you can't have your preferences, but it's the mistreatment. It's the making other people feel bad about their own complexion. That's the problem. And we would love to hear what y'all think about that.
Absolutely.
But, so we did that cancer episode and we were told that we should end it on a high note. It was a little bit intense. This episode was a little intense. So I Googled a quick little joke for y'all. But we're going to keep it light. We don't want to send y'all home all angry.
Okay, don't be angry at these damn foolish people, okay?
Here we go.
What's the joke? Is it a cow joke?
No, it's just a random joke. I asked God for a bike, but I know God doesn't work that way. So I stole a bike and asked for forgiveness.
Oh my God.
Or,
well, damn, I need to figure out how I can
another
do that.
one. You still
So rob a bank and ask for forgiveness later.
Lord, forgive me as you counting your money.
Yes.
Okay, here's another one. I want to die peacefully in my sleep, like my grandfather.
Amen.
Not screaming and yelling like the passengers in his car.
What? Oh my God.
Well, hopefully that made y'all chuckle a little bit. lighten up this heavy type of episode we had.
Listen, let us know also what you would like, some topics. Come on, people.
Yeah,
we out here. We trying to get some topics. Let us know what you want to talk about. Let us know if you want to do some live combos,
Yes. And also, we are on YouTube now. So that's the thing. If y'all want to find us on YouTube, the audio is on there.
Oh, okay, the audio. Yes, we're going to try to I'm going to try to talk her into, the real stuff. Crickets.
Yeah, so, find us on YouTube.
Uh-oh.
Don't
worry about that. We'll get her.
And we love y'all. Black, brown, purple, green.
Blackity black.
Purple or green. We love all of our aspect listeners. Oh, God. Brittany out.
Dialissa out.